Kris, what impressed you most about Bouchard's night tonight?
Well, where do we start? He had, I believe he had a big hit in the corner. Obviously, the 3 goals were nice. Made some defensive plays. I don't know, the list is pretty long for everything Bouch did. And you can tell, like, he's one of the elite defensemen in the league. So it's nice to have him, and he was definitely feeling his best tonight. And, maybe something special about his 400th tonight.
What did you think of your team's overall game, and how much you think a win like this can do for a group that's had some up and down results here lately?
There was a lot of things I liked about our game. The only thing I didn't like about our game was how Washington was able to respond after pretty much every goal that we scored. And, look at the first period. We didn't give up a shot until about 2 minutes left in the period, and we finally pushed to get that first goal. And we should be ecstatic, feel good about our period. And they respond right away with a goal, and that was pretty deflating. And we responded a few times, and obviously we had a nice push at the end of the game on the 6-on-5. But I thought we played a pretty good game. Just how we let them score immediately after we got our goals.
Kris, when you have a guy like Bouchard, having that guy, we know he played 28 minutes. I'm not sure you can play him much more, but are you even looking to get him on the ice even more, just in the way he was playing in all facets?
Bouch is he can handle a lot of minutes. He's well conditioned. He takes care of himself, and I think just with his DNA, he just doesn't get too excited. He's pretty relaxed, and he recovers so quickly. But I think Bouch can play those nights occasionally, but it's certainly something we wouldn't want to do night over night.
I know he didn't factor in on the score sheet tonight, but Matt Savoy scored 2 goals in the last 2 games, and he seems to really kind of be back to maybe where he was earlier. What did you think of his play tonight and maybe recently, and what you've liked?
Savvy's been playing really well for us. Obviously, a couple goals last couple games. Him and Howie set up, had a couple chances, and then penalty kill. Our penalty kill's been going pretty well, and he's been pretty good on that. He's been part of that. So, mostly we've been down to 4 or 5 penalty killers lately with the Kapanen injury. We need that secondary scoring, and he's been providing a little bit of that. But, when we've got a lead, we can also trust him in that. So there's lots of things that he's contributing.
Kris, can you just give us a thought on, I know Evan had a kind of tough start to the season. There's a couple of really rough games, but it didn't seem to faze him. Like, not much seems to rattle him. He's a pretty even keel guy, but just to be able to kind of get past that rough start early on and do what he's doing now, I guess.
Sorry, Evan?
Evan, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're being polite on his first couple games being rough. He wasn't his best. He'd admit it. But, probably after game 15, he was starting to get some traction and finding his way. He's been phenomenal for the last 2 or 3 months. Like, he's been playing at a very high level, and, my opinion, he's one of the best defensemen in the league. And I see him every night, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. But, everything that he does obviously helps our power play. 5-on-5 play, you see how much he drives play and how much everyone benefits when he's on the ice. And another thing we don't talk about is how good of a penalty killer he is. He breaks up a lot of plays, and he reads it. And, I think you see an offensive defenseman, you don't think he can kill penalties, but he does. He's fabulous at it. So, I can go on and praise about Evan.
So why isn't he on the Olympic team?
I'm not picking the team. Obviously they got a gold at the Four Nations, and they probably felt very comfortable with the group that they were bringing back.
And in the last 90 seconds, you must feel reasonably comfortable when you put out the star power you have, you just keep the puck on the other team's end basically until you scored the goal to tie it. That happens a lot.
Yeah,
with those
not
guys.
only are they tremendously skilled and can make some passes and shoot a puck in the net, but they are very desperate. They are tenacious to recover pucks, and they don't wait for the other team to just give it back to them, because if that happens, the other team's going to give it a few clears. And you just saw how many times we were able to recover pucks after plays. And, that's what ultimately led to the goal.
I know it seems like it happened 2 days ago, given all the action in the game, but why did you decide to make the goalie change tonight in the second period?
Well, 3 goals on very few shots, but also I didn't see it properly. The third goal went off one of our defensemen and redirected it, so I thought it came right straight in. So, but also sometimes your team needs a little change of momentum, and maybe that's not fair for Ingram because of it was an unfortunate bounce, but a lot of it had to do with the momentum.